We're sometimes asked, where do you begin in your translation? Is there some kind of order of priority as to which portions of Scripture you translate first? Well, the answer to that is that different situations require different priorities. Now, for example, in New Guinea, in the areas where the gospel has never been known, not even the slightest understanding of the gospel, we generally start in the book of Genesis because, frankly, these people are animistic people, spirit worshippers, and they really don't have any idea who God is, the true and living God is, or what He's like. So we generally start in Genesis because the opening chapters of the Bible give some very foundational information about who God is and what He is like. But there may be some other places in the world where people would have that basic general understanding. And in those environments, you might very well start in one of the four Gospels to immediately get them introduced to Jesus Christ. So different environments require different priorities. I will say this, when we started in Genesis, once we got that done, then we moved very quickly to the Gospel of Mark. And we did that for two reasons. The Gospel of Mark, in part because it's narrative, and it's much easier for a brand new translator to translate narrative than it is to translate some of the heavy theological portions of Scripture. So we don't start in the book of Romans, I can assure you of that. Another reason we do the Gospel of Mark generally first of New Testament books is because it's fairly short. And we're always quite anxious to get that much material into print during our first term of service on the field. So in my case, we did Genesis and the Gospel of Mark, and we got those into the hands of people before we had to go on our first home furlough.